Justin Trudeau says there was no inappropriate pressure on the former Attorney General, Jody Wilson-Raybould. He was just defending jobs. She was just experiencing everything differently than he did. But he did admit that there was an erosion of trust between the Prime Minister's office and Ms. Wilson-Raybould. We all knew that. Meantime, another high-powered minister who resigned, Jane Philpott. You've got another MP, Selina Cesar-Chavanes, who apparently does not believe that the Prime Minister has lived up to his words about listening to women in a tweet, and now a new story in the Globe and Mail. What was the most damaging part of the week? Did the Prime Minister help or hurt his cause? Let's bring in the Scrum and get their take. Bob Fife is the Ottawa Bureau Chief for the Globe and Mail. Joyce Napier is CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief. Craig Oliver is CTV's Chief Political Commentator. They haven't slept in about a week. And our special guest today is the former interim Conservative leader, Rona Ambrose. She is in New York City, where we should say she was just recognized as one of the 100 global leaders at the UN supporting women's issues. Congratulations, Rona Ambrose. Great to have you all here. Let me start with you, Bob. The Globe broke this story. You talked to Selina Cesar-Chavanes. This is a Liberal MP who's decided not to run again. She had a cryptic tweet saying that essentially Justin Trudeau doesn't live up to his "I listen to women." Tell us a bit about that, the impact of this story and what she's saying.
Well, Ms. Cesar-Chavanes had an interview with the Globe and Mail's Laura Stone, and she said the Prime Minister had treated her with hostility. When she informed him that she did not plan to run again, he yelled at her, according to Ms. Cesar-Chavanes. She said he yelled at her and said, "You can't do this. You got to hold off on this announcement because of this controversy. I can't afford to lose two women of color." And then she went to see him again to sort of try to make up with him, and she said he just stared her down and treated her with hostility. So the Prime Minister has got a problem here with at least 3 women, and it's going to damage his reputation as the feminist Prime Minister if he treats women like this.
It is blowing away the whole gender strategy that this government is so much of a core of what it represents. And, you know, I think we all thought it would be the Indigenous effort that was the one that was going to really hurt them the most, but it's not. Everywhere you go, women are angry about the way he's been treating women, and you're hearing this from the caucus also.
Rona Ambrose, let me bring you in. You watched, I mean, that's the latest blow. You watched Justin Trudeau try to handle this whole scandal at his press conference. Did he help or hurt his cause?
Well, I think he left out saying one of the things that a lot of Canadians would like to hear that would put this to bed. If he said, "I've made a decision that I'm going to respect the decision of the independent director of public prosecutions and therefore respect the decision Jody Wilson-Raybould made, we will not be intervening in a criminal prosecution, and we're going to let that independent body or independent office make that decision." That's actually one of the things that continues to hang over the government's head, because there is this suspicion and skepticism that all of this, all the chaos, all of the changing of messaging, all of the ethical issues that are surrounding the government continue, because people think all of it is being done to intervene, to set the stage to intervene in a public prosecution.
Yeah, Joyce, your read, and Rona raises a good point. I'm surprised he's made SNC-Lavalin and their reputation the political hill he wants to die on. He hasn't ruled that out. You watched real close this week. You reported a lot on it. What's your take? Help or hurt the cause?
Against Jody Wilson-Raybould's testimony, which was pretty strong, well, exposed, well presented, coherent dates, names, the whole thing. All they really needed to do, if we're, in legal terms, is to put in a little bit of a doubt, a reasonable doubt in what she said. And I think that between the Prime Minister and Gerald Butts, there is now that little hint of a reasonable doubt. Now we have questions as well about what Jody Wilson-Raybould did and said.
We don't know why the Director of Public Prosecutions has decided to proceed with a prosecution, or why Jody Wilson-Raybould decided to back her. But let's look at the evidence. This is a company banned for 10 years from the World Bank for bribery and fraud. This is a company of which one of its major executives was convicted of bribing and corruption in Switzerland, This is a company that was found guilty, and the CEO pleaded guilty for the McGill Health Center, University Health Center. This is a company now under RCMP investigation for the Champagne Bridge issue. And if you look at that, this is not a company. This is a culture. It looks like a culture of corruption in this company. And a deferred prosecution agreement is supposed to be for a few bad apples, not the whole barrel of bad apples. And I think that's the problem.
But there are still
that the
workers
government
involved, you see. That's the whole issue, is that it's true. You're quite right. But there are workers involved, and the deferred prosecution,
the only problem with that, Joyce,
of the
is that
deferred
they
prosecution is to protect those who should not be punished for the sins of their managers. That is basically the
only
objective.
problem with that is even Gerald Butts admitted at committee,
Yes,
they
yes.
never even did a study to find out if any jobs were
Right,
going
if
to
those
be affected.
9,000 jobs, if that statistic that they've
If
quoted has
indeed
any
that-
evidence.
yes.
Craig
The
wanted to
fact
jump in.
is, this whole issue of a deferred prosecution is still an open question. David Lametti, the new Attorney General, knows what the Prime Minister wants. The Prime Minister knows what he wants. The Prime Minister had a chance on Friday to say, we're not going to interfere with the decision that had been made earlier. He could have said that because he lost a big one this week when the appeal court said no to Lavalin.
But a deferred prosecution is an open-ended thing until the end of a real trial.
Well,
the deferred
The problem with that, and I know you want to go to Rona, but the problem with that is you're now saying that white-collar criminals can always go to the very end. Yeah, nobody else can, but you're saying, okay, the prosecution never ends until there is a conviction.
Okay,
That
well,
is
hang
not
on.
the objective of this bill. This is not the objective
No,
of it.
no, but that is
hang
the
on.
objective the
Let
Prime
me-
Minister
I
was
want to bring
saying.
in Rona because you're the only one here that's been a minister, and I'm intrigued by this because I thought this. Listen, there's so much happened in the last 8 days, right? You got the testimony of Gerald Butts, but then the big shoe dropped, of course, which was Jane Philpott, the most well-respected, in some ways, a moral authority in that government. She resigns. Rona, you've been inside cabinet. How does Justin Trudeau go on with these two very widely respected women? Now you've got the story in the Globe this weekend, but them just sitting there as daily indictments of what they call the integrity of the cabinet. Should he kick them out? Can he tolerate them inside the caucus?
If he kicks them out, I think it gets worse. It does get worse. I know there are people that think that if anyone does anything wrong in caucus, you should turf them to teach them a lesson. In fact, that's, I think, what probably happened with Jody Wilson-Raybould when she said no thanks to the Indigenous portfolio. Having said that, I even knew that she didn't want the Indigenous portfolio before she apparently was ever offered it. She has publicly talked about not wanting to be seen as a token in the community, but also not wanting to be an advocate for the Indian Act. I don't know how they didn't know that.
Guys, I got to leave it there. One thing I can tell you, the debate has not stopped. Every single day there's something new. So, Rona Ambrose, congratulations on the award from the United Nations. Very well deserved. Thank you so much for being here.